only Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy, right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule, that guy, Sean Belizean, in the house for D-Mac. Hello, friend.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good, pal.
This is, seriously, you and I were just talking about this, with it being Halloween and everything. Can you imagine, being a kid and having weather like this? Greatest day ever, right? And you were telling me the kids have a half day?
My kids have a half day today,
yep. Oh, my gosh. No school tomorrow, long
Times
weekend.
Have changed.
Halloween night. What a magical time that would be, right?
That would be great.
Electric time. KG is in the building. KG, what's really good?
Well, we got our man Sean in the studio today, man. So, that's always good.
Don't talk about Andrew Maxwell.
Right.
No.
He is a cock. Nah, but
Not
man,
talking.
it's always a good time when Sean's in here. He's the only State fan besides Spenny that I respect.
Spencer Raxter, speaking of that, in the building. Spenny, where you at today, man?
Oh, I'm just living life. Just another day. Feel good.
Any Halloween plans?
No. I had a couple of Halloween parties already, so
you
got it out
in.
early. Yeah.
Chase is in the building. Chase, what up?
Chase?
Yeah.
Pretty well. How about yourself?
Figured out Blue's Clues?
Yeah, doing well. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, figured just, get in the spirit of the holiday, dress up a little bit,
So, and all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread, by the way, subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Jump in there. Get your thoughts in there as well. Lots of talk about, quote, Snitch-Ass 7.
Snitch-Ass Channel 7.
So you've started a movement there with that. No, you know what, though, Sean? Last night, I did some college soccer for ESPN, and I was walking back to my car, and, it was still warm. And I stopped, and I've done this now as I've gotten older. I stopped, took a deep breath of that warm southerly breeze, and thought to myself, this is the end. And then today, by the second, it's over. The warm weather, all of it's over. Winter is here now. It's Christmas season tomorrow. Do we realize this? The Christmas music on the radio,
I can't stand it.
It starts tomorrow.
You guys don't like Christmas music?
That's pretty weak, KG.
I'm sorry. That corporate bullshit they put out every year, I'm sick of it. And then I'm one of them people, let Christmas be in December. Why I got to hear Christmas songs for 3 months?
Because you got to feed the machine.
Yeah,
There's no Thanksgiving
dumb.
songs.
It's dumb, man.
So, are you ready for Christmas, Sean? Because it starts tonight at midnight.
It's happening. There's a real good chance you're going to hear some of those stations flip tomorrow. There's no doubt
Yes.
about that.
Who is that jolly in life? Nobody.
November 1st. November 1st, man. I'm a big fan as I've gotten older. I always looked at Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving was just, I gotta be honest with you, the Lions' Day, right? But I don't know if you younger guys have the appreciation yet. And Neil, this hasn't hit you yet. When the kids come home, I don't see my kids for a while. One's at school, one's out in LA. And now the last few years, Thanksgiving has turned into unbelievable. It is skyrocketed up the charts. It really is. I'd put it up there with anything because that night before Thanksgiving, everybody's back in the house for the first time since, God knows when and everything. So now I have this level of appreciation for Thanksgiving I didn't have before. It was always work day for me, Thanksgiving.
Right.
It was all right, I got to leave. I got the TV gig first. We'll have dinner at 7 o'clock. Now it's I chill out. I mean, you and I are going to be together. That's cool.
Right.
But still, we're going to be in a position, whether we want to go to the game or we want to go home, where we're back doing what we need to do, by the time kickoff starts. So, for me personally, I'm with you, Spenny. We should go on, a songwriting binge and just write a bunch of odes to Thanksgiving or something. Thanksgiving's just disrespected.
Thanksgiving's very disrespected.
It is. I agree.
Is it?
Because, yes, it's all the vibe, the holiday vibe of Christmas with all the food,
Without the
with
bullshit.
none of the gift-giving responsibility.
Without the bush.
Good call.
That's
Good
what it is.
call.
I love it. That's why I like Christmas Eve the best. Because it's all the vibe and none of that extra.
Right.
You know what I'm
Cleaning
saying?
up
Never
paper
had
and
that
shit.
conversation. I could not. Christmas Eve by far and away number one.
Dominates.
That dominates. And like to me, like Christmas is almost like a letdown. Sorry
Yeah.
to our Lord and Savior, but seriously, Christmas is kind of like, okay, cool. Yeah, no, we have to go through that, and I'm going to take a nap, and yeah, okay. At least there's football to watch. Christmas Eve, the best.
Taylor Frazee in the chat. I haven't seen you here before, Taylor. Appreciate you tapping in to Woodward Sports Network. I'm getting him an oil change right now, and on the TV in the lobby has a Mariah Carey Christmas special on. So it's all righty. I'm convinced no one. I saw the look on all your faces when I brought that up, and it was like, shit, he's right.
Yeah.
No one realizes
You don't
it.
think about
It's
it.
go time. Tomorrow, go time. Get those Halloween decorations down. Get those Christmas lights up, and let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Woodward Sports chat thread, Soccer Night in America. Great trailer for Saturday's DCFC game. Yeah, I'm hyped for the battle with the Rowdies. Let's go City. It's playoff time.
Damn right.
No, it is. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It was a lot of fun. Absolutely. The guys were here. I recorded a lot of that in studio. It's cool to see that stuff. It's cool to see that stuff take shape. All right, last night, down go the Yankees. You know, Sean, for me, and look, Tom Mazaway here at Woodward Sports is a resident Yankees fan. I know there's a couple in the chat as well. I just have to say that you have to give the Yankees a lot of credit. The little club that could. The club that can't compete financially with the Dodgers. And when I brought that up to Maz, I said, well, what are you going to do now? Juan Soto's going to sign with the Dodgers. His words to me were, quote, the league can't let that happen. They're a friggin' all-star team right now.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be fair.
David Stern, that shit.
Is that unbelievable?
A Yankee fan.
Isn't that unbelievable? Unbelievable.
I just give him credit.
You know what? It is a heartwarming story, and it fell just short. And God bless them. Those poor little Yankee fans must be so heartbroken.
It was magical. It'll never,
Somebody make sure that nobody tells Brian Cashman that pitching has kept them from winning World Series for about 15 years now.
Yes.
So nobody tell him. Nobody get in his ear and go, hey, Cash, you might want to invest a little bit more in pitching. I mean, that's been their downfall. This is what I know Tiger fans don't want to hear this, okay, but it's easier to say this now than it was a few weeks ago while they're still playing. I think it's adorable. I mean that. I think it's adorable that so many people out there want to say, see, you don't need a big payroll. It's not needed. Well, that's all cute and adorable if you want to be the Cleveland Indians or the Guardians, as it were now.
Or this year's Tigers.
Yeah, they can make their little forays into the playoffs, and they can go quietly into the night, whether it be in the first round or the second round. God forbid they actually make it to the ALCS. But the likelihood of you actually winning a World Series with a payroll that's 20th or 21st or 22nd
Non-existent.
is non-existent. And we all have to accept that. And look, the Mike Ilitch later years era notwithstanding, where he went out and he spent, there's a big reason why the Detroit Tigers are over 40 years since winning a World Series. And as sure as I'm saying this right now, Neil, I promise you there's going to be somebody in the chat or somebody's going to hit me up on social media and say, you're out of your mind, you can compete. It's about, you have to do the little things, the amateur scouting and developing guys. That's only going to get you so coochie to a point. You got to go all in and start spending money. That's just the way it is. It's not my fault. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at Neil. But that's where we are at in baseball right now, man.
No, and Sean, I did want to wait till this was over, and it's a great catch by you, and I was going to do this, so you know what? We're here. We can do it now. It's time now to have that discussion, Sean, where we were told when the time was right to spend, it's time to spend. This World Series, oh, by the way, World Series had higher ratings than Monday Night Football on Monday.
That's insane. That's insane.
Like it's there. There are still baseball people out there. It's there. There's no question about it. So with that being said, now it's time, Tigers. Now it's time, because here's the deal. It was fun. Mm-hmm. We had a good time.
We did.
But that's over now. And what did I tell you, KG?
Yeah.
This was your organic free run.
Yeah. And I was on board with it.
And I was too.
Yeah.
And we loved it. And we had a great summer fling together. But you know what? It's time to either, get engaged
Put a ring
or
on
call
it.
it a day. It's time to put a ring on it, guys. All right? It is. Are we serious about this or are we on bullshit about it?
Right.
One of the two. And there's only one thing that can be done by the Tigers to show you. Action. Action.
Little Chris.
Action.
Knocking over them garbage cans.
Don't be knocking over the garbage cans, little quick. We need bats. We need more pitching.
Yep.
If we're serious about this, this is the most critical offseason in a very, very long time for this Tigers team.
That is a fact.
And we're watching. And this is real, guys. I gave it the time. We let the World Series play out. Here we are. We're not even in that stratosphere with those two teams that were on the field yesterday. We're not. Because guess what? That Yankees team got their ass kicked by the Dodgers. They kicked the Guardians' ass, who beat us. Mm-hmm. So work down the chain there. And I'm not speaking ill of Tarek Skubal or anything like that. I like this team. I like where it's at. It was fun. But let's cut the shit. Either you're in that or you're out of it. One of the two. There is no other way. You're either in or you're out. So it is time to go now. The offseason starts now. Here we go. Who's playing third base next year? Like a real third baseman. Right. Who's going to be,
first base.
Right, first.
Who's going to be, here's one, the 30 home run guy.
Right.
Yeah. You know how everybody's got one of those guys, two of those guys, three of those guys? We had none last year.
Right. We thought we had one.
Well, we didn't. So you know what you do? You go fix it.
Yes, sir.
You go fix it.
Yep.
So show me you're serious here.
We can't pitch with one starter the whole year. So
you can't disrespect what happened. It happened. We all enjoyed it. We all got caught up in it. And it was funny, Neil. I always laugh when people were making bandwagon jokes and things like that. Nobody was on this bandwagon in August. So stop it. I know you're the biggest Tiger fan in the world. Nobody thought that they would go do what they did. But I, again, go back to 2006, okay? That was magical. That lasted pretty much all season long, unlike this team that got incredibly hot down the stretch. But the one thing that happened as soon as that World Series against St. Louis concluded is, guess what? It was over. It was over. And now the specter of expectations have fallen upon this team. It's not a cute story anymore. Now everybody is going to expect more, or at least, at the very least, to get back to the playoff. And I'm with you. I don't care what anybody says. Anybody says, okay? There is one way to show me that Christopher Ilitch is going to invest in this team, and that's it. And that's to invest in this team. And at this point in time, if you're one of those people that are sitting back right now saying, oh, yeah, he's going to do it. Well, he said he would do it. I would throw at you based on what? Based on what? Because we haven't seen up to this point in time. And if he does, I'll be the first guy to say, gosh damn it, my man came up big.
Give it up
to go,
him.
Christopher.
Yep.
Way to go. I don't believe it. We'll wait and see. But, yeah, guess what? Cute, funny time, all that stuff, the darling little run, and, all our videos of us losing our mind over this at bat or that at bat or this strikeout, that's all gone now. It's now expectations are here. And it's a lot more difficult to live up to expectations when you're playing in a league like Major League Baseball. It's just the way it is. You got to spend, Neil. You got to spend. And again, I'm going to say it. Don't throw Tampa at me. Don't throw Cleveland at me. Don't throw all these examples of teams having, a modicum of success or at least some consistent success. Because what I will throw at you every time is, do you remember that time Cleveland won the World Series? Unbelievable. It was incredible. Do you remember that party?
Weren't they the Spiders back then?
It was incredible. That's not the way MLB works, man. You know it, I know it, so let's not play pretend.
It's a very simple formula. Woodward Sports chat thread. Chuck, Neil, number one, write Baez a check to go away. Sign 2 starting pitchers, 2 to 3 big-time bats if we're serious. Chuck, that's where I'm at with it now.
Don't think Javi going nowhere, though, unfortunately.
No, yeah. Weezy D313, got to win with guts and grit. Sorry, then you're not winning.
You're not going to win.
You're not winning. That's it. You can win games, but you ain't winning it. And Copa says, Neil, sounds like you're pulling a Michigan on the Tigers. Win it all or be considered a failure. No, Copa, I'm asking them to try. Because when you're 27th in payroll, you're not trying. Financially, you're not trying. Sorry, tell me I'm wrong. Somebody pipe in here and tell me I'm wrong. Please, I'm asking.
I find it interesting. This is just a theory, and I want to run it by all of you guys in here today. This is just a theory of mine, but I have felt this way for a long time. I think the Tigers are held to a different standard than other franchises in this town, and I don't quite know why. And maybe you guys can help me out. Everybody and their brother cries about 1957. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Okay, let's get that. I'm going to throw that out there right now. Everybody and their brother cries about 1957. We've been crying about 1957 for about 30 plus years now, right? Everybody, Neil, you and I grew up in an era where everybody cried about 1955. 1955 was the last time the Red Wings won the Stanley Cup. And they finally made it back to the finals in 1995. It was 40 years, and then were unceremoniously swept. Why don't more people talk about the futility of the Detroit Tigers? Can you help me out? I don't get it. 40 years, guys.
I'll go to some of the younger ones in the crowd. Spenny.
Yes.
1984
Don't care.
was the last time that they won the World Series. It doesn't feel. Why doesn't it feel that way?
I don't know. I mean, I was negative 12 at that point. So I don't even remember. I don't care about 1984. Honestly.
No, I know that, but like, why? Why is it not a bigger thing?
I don't know. I think it's we got teased with it, and we made a couple World Series, and look at that. They went for it. They didn't cash one in, and now we're just sitting in perpetuity of being mediocre. So.
And that's it.
I think it's just the fact that we have an owner now that we don't believe in and that we know is not really going to take the next step with this team, because when is he ever, like, to your point? What belief do I have that he will get behind this team, even when they, came out of nowhere and made the divisional series? Like, what reason do I have to believe that he will capitalize on that? We haven't seen it. I like what Scott Harris has done, but he can only do so much. It's about what that man upstairs is really going to help give him the tools to be able to really help improve this thing.
Well, I'll go back to this. Why don't more people talk about how shitty it is that they haven't won in 40 years?
40 years?
Because that was a big thing with the Red Wings, and it's still a big thing with the Detroit Lions. Now, the numbers are smaller, but you know as well as I do, there are still human beings out there, and they're usually older, that do, the Lions suck, I can't believe you're doing this to yourself again. The numbers have dwindled to minuscule level, but they're still there. Mm-hmm. I'm going to use my baseball-loving son as an example. He's sick and tired of these 1984 reunions. He's had to see so many of them. When we were, when we had season tickets, we would go and, hey, it's 1984 weekend and everything. And he's sitting
like
back
every
going,
weekend.
right? And he's sitting back going, hey, Dad, no offense. Like, that's 15 years before I was born.
Right.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And yet they and again, if you're one of those 84 guys, I'll love you to the day I die. Nothing personal, man. Nothing personal. But you have to understand that there are generations of people, okay? Neil, you were barely old enough to remember it, okay? There are 3 guys in this room right now that are probably sick and dog tired of hearing about Tram's 2 home run game. And you know what I mean? So to me, it almost seems like the Tigers are just held to a different standard around here. And I don't get it. And Spenny, I think you bring up a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe, just maybe, it's because we had the string of winning the division from 11 to 14.
At one time, they were the best team in baseball.
Right. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But
we
you're
got teased.
still without a championship for over 40 years now. That's insane.
Do you think we will look at the Lions different if, they lost all this time, but at least in recent memory, they made it to 2 Super Bowls and lost? Will we feel a little differently about the Lions?
Yeah, because
I think so.
because of like the national embarrassment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How bad it was.
That's kind of what it is with the Tigers, though. At least they have competed and we've seen it.
I told you guys, and I'm sorry to repeat this, but I'm going to say it again. You wouldn't believe how many people there are in the national football media, okay, the national football media, where I had a conversation that went something like this. The Lions have won 1 playoff game, right? Ha, 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 ha. I'm not laughing. No, they've won 1 more than playoff game. No, they haven't. Dude, come on. You've been doing this job too long. They won 1 playoff game in the Super Bowl era. 1. And you know what? They'll pick up their phone. Oh, my gosh. You're right. And so when I would hear other fan bases, whether it be Cleveland or Cincinnati or whoever, go, we've had it worse. You don't even know Mike Brown. And I would go, I kid you not, I go, all right, now I want you to pick one of the years you went to the Super Bowl. Don't use both. One of the years you went to the Super Bowl. Just pick one. All right, how about when we played at the Pontiac Silverdome? Okay, cool. I'm glad that you brought that up. Do you know you won more playoff games in a 1 week span than we had seen in our lifetime?
Right.
Well, that's not true. Okay, cool. Fact check me. Fact check me.
It's wild when you say it out loud, man.
People didn't know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to throw somebody in our division didn't know. The voice of a team in our division, and I don't want to throw them under the bus, literally said to me, well, that's not true. And I said, dude, you need to look it up. The Lions have one playoff win. It's January of 1992. And it was the exact same thing. He was like, oh my gosh. Like, I know you've had some lean years and stuff. So those are the things that, I think to your point, yes, because the Lions haven't had even those close calls, maybe it's different. And let's face it, the Red Wings in their long period from 95 all the way back to 55, there weren't a lot of close calls mixed in, or at least were way back when, like the 66 finals, when they lost in the 66 finals. So all people saw out of the Red Wings growing up in my generation was brutality.
Correct.
And the cute little story, oh my gosh, we went to the conference finals twice in a row, and everybody and their brother knew we weren't going to beat Edmonton, but golly gee, wasn't it cute?
Hey, they won a game.
Right, yeah. But you know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It's just, I don't think, and I'm not trying to dog on the Tigers. I love the Tigers, okay? I've had season tickets for years. I don't think enough is said about the futility of this franchise. I really don't.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Sam Reynolds. I'm convinced Neil didn't enjoy last season at all. Riley Green's an all-star. Not saying we don't need to spend, but the cupboard is not as bare as Neil thinks. We have no 30 home run hitters in today's day and age. We have one pitcher. Does that sound pretty bare? It does. I know. We got to get to the break. I know. But yeah, that's it. Real quick, too. Terrell in Florida. Neil, don't expect this fan base to want to pay or trade for anyone. We can't be giving up the farm or mortgaging the future to get better and win a championship. I wanted to make this real distinction here. Major League Baseball is not all three of the other sports. You decide how much money you want to spend. It is solely up to you in baseball. All the other leagues are capped. So don't compare them. Don't think that they're the same thing, because they're not. You can wake up tomorrow. The Marlins can wake up tomorrow and decide we're going to be good. The Tampa Bay Rays.
They've done it twice in our lifetime.
The Kansas City Royals did it last summer. They said, all right, we're going to be good now.
Yeah. There's no salary cap.
And
What's
like
the
that,
reason?
they were in the playoffs. All right, I know spending's going to kill us. Tell about the Salvation Army.
Salvation Army, if you are looking to register to ring for Salvation Army, you can sign up today at registertoring.com. You can do on-site bell sites or online ringing. You can do it right now. It goes until Christmas, excluding Sundays and Thanksgiving. Make sure if you want to make a change, you can register to ring and help out your community for the Salvation Army at registertoring.com. Neil, what about Caesars?
Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. And right now you can use promo code Woodward1000. And here's how it will work, everybody. You scan the QR code on the screen. You put in the promo code Woodward1000. You make your first deposit. You make your first bet. If that first bet loses all the way up to $1,000, Caesars Sportsbook will credit you that back as a bonus bet. You'll get a do-over with it, I guess you could say. So you can get your first bet back up to $1,000 with the promo code Woodward1000. But look, everybody's doing bonuses and deposits and, all that kind of stuff. Get your bet back. Here's why it's different with Caesars Sportsbook. The app is clean. It's easy to navigate. It doesn't glitch out. All the markets are there. You can bet on the World Series of Poker on Caesars Sportsbook as well. So if you got that itch, Caesars Sportsbook, they have all the markets available to you. The app runs perfectly, guys, and that matters. If you're a live bettor, boom, updates in real time, you got it cooking. Use promo code Woodward1000, Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment. from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
All right, guys, you know Dr. Jeff Pierce, our injury insider, joins us every Tuesday here on Big D Energy. Every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, we talk breaking sports injury news. He also gives you tips for your weekend warrior lifestyle as well. He's helped me out. He's helped Spencer Raxter out. And oh, by the way, Darren McCarty trusted his career with Dr. Pierce. He can help you as well. Powered by the Michigan Sports and Spine Center and MRI of Southfield. It is Dr. Jeff Pierce. All right, keeping it pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in for DMAC. Sean will be with me today, Avi. He will be with me tomorrow. You're a nickel package veteran. You've done it before. Straight nickel packages tomorrow.
I'm fine.
Bourbon Friday if you care to indulge.
Hey,
I might
with us.
have one.
Spinny won't, but
Yeah, but Sean will. And whatever. Hey, you do you.
I'm just mad. I won't spin you to partake.
I do too. We got Chase in the building, KG, Spencer Raxter, all of you.
Can I throw something out there?
You can.
And I don't want to hijack, but I want to ask all you guys and the guys in the chat. I keep hearing about, are we far enough away where we can drop the feel good about what happened at the end of the Tigers season, and we can look at this team like logically?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I hear a lot of people say we can't mortgage the future. We can't. Okay, so who on this team right now, and I'm being deadly serious, who on this team right now is somebody that you would look at and say, yeah, I can see that guy playing that position for a championship team? I want you to think about it. Hey, don't come at me with Rake Rogers, okay? Please, I'm begging you.
Wait a minute. Have you seen his
Green.
mustache?
As much as we love the guy and all the little things and stuff like that, are we allowed to say
Is 190's not going to
there
work?
should probably be an upgrade there?
Yeah.
Third base, right? Can we upgrade? You mentioned
Well,
third
that
base.
depends on who's pitching, I was told.
Okay, shortstop?
We're good. We got him under contract.
Okay.
He got surgery done. He'll be back.
Okay, second base?
Yes.
Cole Keith.
You cool?
I'm cool with Cole Keith at second base.
Okay, sounds great. And actually, so am I, okay?
Yeah.
As long as he hits to
We're
overcome the
taking a
defense.
gamble. There's no guarantee. We're taking a gamble, but I agree with you.
They already paid him. So.
Okay, first base.
No.
Nah,
okay.
Yeah, we need to upgrade.
Riley Green in the outfield.
Riley
Yep.
Green and Parker Meadows.
Parker Meadows out in the outfield.
Yeah.
So if now one pitcher, one starter.
Yep, Terrace
right?
Google, that's it.
Okay, one starter, two outfielders, a second baseman. Okay, cool.
Well, don't tell Sam Flannel that.
But
And maybe-
do you understand what am I missing? What like we can't mortgage our future. Future of what? Who?
Yeah.
Like honest, I'm not trying to be an ass to you guys. Like seriously, which guy are you looking at that you just we can't make a move with that guy? And trust me, I'm taking a leap of faith with Colt Keith. We all are, whether we want to admit it or not. We're all taking a leap of faith. So again, think of it that go position by position. Who do you feel cool with? Correct me. Two outfielders.
Yep.
Second base.
Yep. Those are the people we
Tarek
know
Skubal.
are solidified.
Cool.
Besides Colt Keith.
Future's bright, man.
Everybody else there is solidified. So.
Robert Sloppy Toppenheimer says
shit.
that Vierling
Wait a minute.
is
Who? I'm sorry. Who is that?
Robert Sloppy Toppenheimer
Hell of a name.
says that's an A plus right
That's
there.
it. That's the greatest name in it. Well, Dr. Clappin'
Dr.
Cheeks.
Clappin' Cheeks is good too.
Yeah.
He says Tyler Holt or Matt Vierling is a starter. Matt Vierling is a good
He's a role player.
role player.
A really good role
like
player.
Matt Vierling, Wenzel Perez, Justin Henry Malloy. Those guys are good role players.
Little pieces.
Yes.
Fit them in little bit. Sorry, Matt Vierling isn't going to be a third baseman on a championship team.
Right.
Now
I'm sorry.
he could be a left fielder on a championship team.
Yeah.
He could be.
Yeah.
He could be. If that's your final piece. If you got it all figured out and then we're see, that's the problem with this. Like we have all the flavored crust, we don't have any pizza. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like
everybody talking about Kerry Carpenter, no Kerry Carpenter, Kerry Bonds. If you can't hit one or the other pitcher, that is a huge hamperment. Like if you can't hit lefties or you can't hit righties,
Again,
And he's
that's
injury
pretty
prone.
important in
And
baseball.
guys,
He's
like,
injury prone.
to
at
what
this
you were
point.
just, I want Kerry Carpenter here.
Me
I
too.
do. Like I want, but let's put him in. That is not your everyday guy.
And you don't have to get rid
It's
of these
not.
guys. You could just buy better people.
Yeah.
thank you.
To go around.
Like all these guys could still be on the team, and you could pay $200 million for 2 bats.
Yeah.
Thank you, Spenny.
Yeah.
Spenny gets it, everybody.
Like it's not like, oh, we got to trade Justin Henry Malloy and Kerry Carpenter and all these guys to sign a free agent.
Yeah.
No, you can just choose
Nope,
to do
you-
both.
Yeah, you just sign them. That's all you got to do.
And it's amazing how much better a lineup is when you have to worry about multiple guys up and down the
Yeah,
lineup. It's
protecting
kind of, it's
your
kind of
guys,
baseball
yeah.
51, not even 101.
Like Kerry Carpenter can't be your horse. Like you have to go get
Right.
better people.
Right.
Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into there, get your thoughts out there. Greg Rounds, can we solidify Ibanez as a pinch hitter? That's what we have
Piece.
though.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
like a
Piece.
team of
Yes.
pieces, and that is
Right.
that's really it. All right, we got to get back on the break clock. So what I want to do when we come back is I do want to touch on the Pistons. They did win last night, and I want to wrap this in because the Red Wings most certainly did not. And we have Sean here, so Sean, we got to. I'm not feeling the same way, like boo them off the ice that everybody else is feeling, but I want to run it by you. Maybe I'm missing something.
Real quick, before we go to
Yes.
break, before I tell you about Lady Jane's, Flannel in the chat. With all due respect, you guys are acting like the Tigers went 72-90 last year, the way you guys are talking. They need to make moves. But the Tigers have more than
okay.
We know. We watched the same season you did, Flannel.
Yeah.
We know they got to the playoffs. We know
No,
they
you know
got
what
in
he's
there
doing?
and they
He's
won a
being-
couple games.
he's being a
so that's
Michigan
why
fan.
we need to bring more people in. So we're better than that. If you're good and getting bounced in the ALDS every year, that's on you. I want to win a World Series. You go get bats to do that. You go pay people to do that. Sneaking by the Astros and choking to the Guardians is not something I strive for out of my baseball team. I want to, I don't know, win pennants, win a World Series. You're not going to do that with the gritty Tiggs motto. It's not going to happen.
It was a fluke, guys. Nobody wants to say it. I'll say it. It was a fluke. You are not going to have a situation where all those circumstances come together and you have Bo Brisky looking like the greatest pitcher in the history of mankind. You are not, that is not a winning recipe. I enjoy it. I embrace it. Memories for a lifetime. But Flannel, I'd say the same thing to you. What part of going through that roster are we false about? Who are you looking at? There are multiple holes on this team that do not have bona fide starters that you would want on a championship team. That's reality.
And again, Sean,
Sorry.
just guys, look at the lineups last night. Look at them.
That's what
on
it
both
takes.
sides.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
Right.
Year after year after year. That's what it takes.
They put
Okay.
up 8 runs in a
Let's go to
flat.
break. We got to try to get back on time. Let me tell you about Lady Jane's
Please
Haircuts
do.
for Men. Walk in, sit down, relax, and you can get a $20 haircut special if you scan that QR code in the corner. You get a hot leather neck shave, you get a scalp massage, all that good stuff from one of our talented stylists. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. They'll make you look like a pro. Walk in, sit down, relax. Always open. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You know what else is always welcome?
1800 Tequila,
Yeah.
a proud partner of the Detroit Lions and the official tequila of the Woodward Sports Lions watch party and post-game show. So make sure you enjoy 1800 Tequila. They got the Lions bottle. Go out and grab one of those today. It's the smoothest taste in tequila, and please drink responsibly.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Feldman Automotive. Go to feldmanauto.com. 18 Feldman Automotive dealerships. What does that mean to you? It means all brands are represented. We know about Feldman, Chevrolet, and Novi because they're Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer and the nation's #1 EV dealer. But what if you want a Ford, a Kia, whatever kind of car you want, go to feldmanauto.com. That is the play. They're rooted in Detroit. They've been around since 1996. So, yes, pretty much since Boyz II Men was singing Motown Philly. Feldman Automotive's been here, everybody. Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, they do great charity work for them. They are a part of the Detroit community, no doubt about it. Go to feldmanauto.com. All right, cleaning this up here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in for DMAC today, tomorrow, Monday. We'll be on the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show as well. I want to clean all this up with the Red Wings and the Tigers and the Pistons, and the World Series ended last night. And I just looked at the lineup graphics and said, we are so far away from that I don't even know what to tell you. And last year was fun. I enjoyed it. But I've said this since we got on this carpet ride. I said, guys, make sure. It was like the weather last night. Make sure you enjoy it because it all changes tomorrow. And now, that's where the Tigers are. You get an organic spin at it once. That was our 2006. Now don't talk about it. Be about it.
Yep.
And it's exclusively up to ownership. Exclusively. So let's go. The offseason started now. So let's get in the mix here. Let's go get a real third baseman. Let's go get, one other starting pitcher than the one we have. Like, let's go do that right now, shall we?
We had a great party, but we're all sobered up right now.
Yeah.
And the most sobering part is looking at this roster and going position by position like we did, factually, and going, oh, gosh. Like, Spenny, you said it best during the break. There's a reason why 95% of the fan base around here and literally all of Major League Baseball looked at what happened last year as miraculous. It was. You cannot count for those set of circumstances. It was the perfect storm of the pen pitching out of its mind, clutch hitting, a combination of the Twins absolutely falling flat on their face, and the Royals even coming back to earth a little bit. It was the perfect combination of things. It was wonderful. I'm not going to disrespect it. But if you think that it's onward and upward from here, man, I don't know what to tell you. Have a big glass of water, pop some aspirin. It's very sobering. It's time to get sober now, and it's time to open up the checkbook.
No, absolutely. Like
I was never drunk. I was just buzzed.
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. I know that we were getting after it, right? And we had the top shelf tequila, the top shelf vodka. Yeah. Now that we sobered up in the morning, what are all these pop-off bottles doing empty around here? They're all plastic. Who drank that?
Right.
You did. Oh. So there's that out there as well. Pistons got a win they needed, a win they got, and the bottom line is like the people, the players, the additions that maybe at the beginning of the year people were critical of. They showed out, and the Pistons won by 20. Now, granted, no Joel Embiid, but you're going to play teams like that in the NBA, especially when you play the 76ers, because Joel Embiid's a fake superstar.
And Paul George.
But anyway,
PG-13 games?
Yeah, pandemic P.
Right.
PG-13%.
Can I say this, though? And again, you're never going to apologize for a win. Did you guys kind of feel the same way I did? I was watching in the fourth quarter, and I went, here it comes. Here it comes. That patented the Pistons are in control of a game in the fourth quarter, and they're somehow, some way going to let this giant. Literally, I am programmed now. Yeah. Like, this has been so many years of this. And maybe it's a me problem. And if it's a me problem, Neil, yell at me. You guys yell at me. I literally sat there I tuned it in because, this time of year, there's so many things on the sport. Like, I'm watching, and I'm like, well, I can turn this off. I've seen this act before. A game that the Pistons are completely in control of, and the Sixers come running back. And yes, I know they won going away. They ended up winning by 10 points, I believe. But nice to see Tobias Harris do as he did. But I'm like Neil. Seriously, I've seen it way too many times with this team. Yeah. A fourth quarter where you're like, okay, just sail, just find a way to sail and blow the lead. They held on though.
No, and they did. And again, like the people that were jumping off ship and everything like that. We know the Celtics and the Cavs are combined 9-1 right now. Mm-hmm. They didn't just beat the Pistons; they beat literally everybody else too. The schedule was always going to be like this,
and the Pistons could have won those games.
They were there.
They were there.
No, they didn't, and that's part of it. I think people forget too. It was a 14-win season last year, and you're not snapping your finger. Do your stairs. Do it all by yourself. No, you're not doing that and snapping your fingers, and this team's getting better.
You was this close.
What do you mean?
The delivery is about a 7.5.
That's part of the delivery, though. The fact that the delivery's a bit off. Like, work with me on the showmanship here, KG.
I'm with you.
You got to play the part. You got to play the character.
If you go throw the culture references, you getting there. It wasn't. Hey, continue.
All right.
I wouldn't try to stop your shine.
Burn. People comparing it to the Astros breakthrough in 2015 with Hinch as manager, but no one talks about it. It was 2 years before the Astros went back. Well, Burn, and we want their third baseman now in free agency. Like he could be a huge piece. Bregman could be a huge piece for the Tigers. So that's what it is. Let's go Red Wings party. Tim Hardaway, 5 of 7 from 3. No, that's it, man.
In the fourth quarter.
Isaiah Stewart's been an animal defensively. The defensive efficiency for the Pistons is like 22 points higher when Isaiah Stewart's on the floor. Jalen Duren's been very upsetting.
Yeah.
I don't. Here's the thing with the Duren thing. And this was said to me by J.B. Bickerstaff.
Yeah.
So, this isn't what I think here or anything like that. J.B. Bickerstaff said this. He said, we will have patience with Jalen Duren. He's a 20-year-old kid that's playing in his third system for his third different guy. Is that fair?
That is fair.
Absolutely.
That's a factual statement.
You're not allowed to preach patience, though, Neil. You know that.
No, and Sean, I know you say that tongue in cheek. I get that. Defense in the NBA, and that's going to be the problem for this franchise for the next 3 years, guys. Like when Isaiah showed up on the scene, they won some games and stuff like that. But no great team. You have to defend at some point.
It's not a fair starting point, too, to the people that do that. I mean, you're talking about arguably the toughest little man in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I would have that argument with people. He's in the conversation. So I don't think that's a fair starting point. You don't have Zeke's just plop off the tree, So, no, you're right. And I think there's a lot of that going on in hockey as well. There's a reason why defenders usually take more time to develop at that level.
Okay. We're going to take the break. When we come back, we're going to do the Red Wings thing. We're going to get to the Lions, guys. Trust me, we are, okay? I want to clean all this stuff up before we go football heavy the second half of the hour. We got our bottom 5 list, special Halloween edition. Yeah. We don't typically do this. Usually it's a top 5. But in honor of Halloween, we're doing bottom 5. Bottom 5 Halloween candies. We got D-Mac's list, and Sean, my apologies. We didn't get a list from you.
That's all right.
But we have D-Mac, so I want to get your reaction to D-Mac's list. All right, is that fair?
Yep.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Bottom 5 Halloween candies in honor of Halloween. And we'll ride off with this before we get to the break because I love this and I'm seeing this around town. Detroit supremacy. Trade a second-round pick and Jamison Williams for Max Crosby.
Why y'all want to trade J-Mo so bad?
Well, let me tell you about Sabbath Coffee Roasters. If you need to wake up early, make sure you get Sabbath Coffee in your cup. Delicious, locally sourced, roasted coffee delivered right to your door. Subscribe to Sabbath Coffee Roasters at SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com. Use code word Woodward to get 25% off your first Order Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Wake up, enjoy game day right. Choose Sabbath Coffee Roasters. They should be your only choice when you're looking to wake up.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
You and I pay our bills. Unlike my opponent, Dave Coulter, I won't take advantage of my job because I work for you. I'm Nick Jonai, and by the way, I do pay my water bills on time, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Nick Jonai for Oakland County.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Right?
Neil Rule here for Woodward Merch. Boo them kids. Boo them kids. Oh, we gotta get that picture that one of the viewers sent. Sean, you'll love this. He was in the delivery room with his new child with a Boo Them Kids shirt on. So that's elite. Chopped out Woodward
Straight out the womb.
Straight out the womb, getting booed. Raising them right. The Stoke Not Scared shirt, baseball, football, basketball, hockey. There's a Woodward Sports golf line as well. Shop.woodwardsports.com. All right. We got... I shouldn't have done that.
What?
That little chat message from Detroit Supremacy right before the break like that. That was a bad move by me, Sean. You've been doing this a long time. A lot longer than me. That was a bad move on my part.
Nah, it was. You know it wasn't. You know deep down inside it wasn't.
It was bad.
A second rounder.
Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in for DMAC. We'll be rocking with Sean all the way through Monday show. KG, Chase, my guy, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. All right. No, Neil, stay on task. Do this with the lines. All right, I have to write this down because it's good. And this is going to be, when we do this in the second hour, this is going to be for me. All right? I do a lot of stuff for you guys. I dance when you turn the camera on. I do the bits, all of it. You guys can entertain me for 10 minutes in the second hour. Is that fair?
Yes.
And Sean, I'm going to do this for me.
I'm ready.
Okay, so I got to write this down. But the Red Wings, Sean. Is it time to have the discussion? I feel like just based off the reaction, and I was stunned yesterday. That clip that was going around social media of them getting booed off the ice after they got clapped by the Jets. Now, they fell behind 3-0, got it to 3-2 before ultimately falling, but don't fall behind 3-0. But if you are going to do it to a guy that's on my fantasy team like Kyle Connor. But I digress. What is going on here, Sean?
They're not good defensively. Now, you and I talked about this a few weeks ago, and I got clapped. I didn't think they'd be a playoff team this year. I didn't. I don't think they're ready yet. That doesn't mean, I want to make this crystal clear for the Flannel Sams out there, that doesn't mean that I've ended my subscription to the Iser plan, because this is, again, not about just getting back to the playoffs. What does it mean if you go to the playoff and lose the first round? Doesn't mean anything. He wants to get them back to that point in time. Did I think they'd be better by this point in time? Absolutely, I did. There are many issues. I think the obvious one that stares in your face is defensively. They struggle defensively, and Neil, their penalty kill is atrocious. No other way to say it. It's atrocious.
What changed?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Because I refuse to say that it's Shane Gossifier's not here, so the wheels fell off of everything.
It really is atrocious. The good news with that, you can fix that. I'm not saying you can go from being one of the worst. I think they're 30th in the league right now. You can fact check me. I think they're 30th. They're like at 65%, I think. It's awful. I mean, it hasn't been good. Jets were 1-2 last night. That's correctable. I'm not saying that you're going to go from 30 to one of the best PK units, but you can go up like that. And maybe it's an early start. There's a whole bunch of circumstances. Can they fix what they are on the blue line? No. That's what we have. And you know what we have on the blue line? We have some young players who, I'm going to say it again, in particular defensemen, don't take my word for it. Look, ask any talent evaluator, ask any scout, ask any coach, ask any general manager. Young defensemen take longer. That's just the way it is. Sorry, that's just the way it is. Again, if you want to play, there are exceptions to the rule. A local guy, Cam Fowler, kind of jumped in and, whoa, didn't expect that early. Drew Doughty was a guy that jumped in, longtime LA King, and didn't look like he, had that early struggles. Young defensemen struggle, and that's what we're looking at right now. I think with this team, and Flannel, I can hear you yelling at me right now. I think some fans are victims of their own expectations. I really do. I think they're victims of they don't understand how titanic this was to take this over. They don't understand that any general manager will tell you, these are not my words. Much like you said, 2 different general managers in the National Hockey League, not named Steve Yzerman. So I want to make that clear. Told me you're talking about 5 years. 5 years just to get back on track, okay? It's been 5 years. Now, are the Red Wings on track right now? Right now, no. They aren't. They aren't on track right now. I'm a big eye test guy. And even last weekend, Neil, I cautioned people. Much like Spenny, we were talking about how the Tigers did things down the stretch. You're not going to win a lot of games with the recipe that the Red Wings used last weekend to win some games, where you're being outshot, where you're just not going to win
40-10 and winning on the road.
You're not going to win a lot of games like that. It was cute. It was nice. Coochie, coochie, coo. You pinch your cheek. But that does not lend itself to long-term success. It just doesn't. And, if you're one of those guys, where are they at in this process? I bet if you caught Steve Yzerman in a moment of honesty, and I'm not suggesting that Steve is dishonest, but if Steve Yzerman was standing here right now, where are you at in this process? After he hemmed and hawed and said, well, I don't have numbers on it and everything, they're behind where they should be right now, and there's no harm in saying that. But do I believe the long-term vision of Steve Yzerman? Yes, because I've watched him do it before. That's where it's at. Yes. And it's taken a little longer than I think people imagine, and I'm not going to chastise anybody. I understand why you're frustrated. I do. I totally get it. I do.
Yeah, and I guess, if you want to revisit the old takes, and everybody here knows where I stand on it, Sean, and I don't know that we've ever had this discussion before, but it falls in line with what you talked about with your conversations with other GMs and things like that. I still, to this day, don't think that people realize that year number 1 of him on the job was, in fact, year -3.
100%.
Because you have $18 million in liabilities out there on Franz Nielsen and Justin Abdelkader and Jimmy Howard that you are responsible for, that you didn't put on here, but you got to deal with, and that becomes when you take the job, that becomes your problem. You have to go fix that. And I don't think that people have given that its due credit. Anyone that says that's in this media simply does that to sell fear. They don't do that from a genuine, this is the way I think, applying common sense, having been around sports for a while. And maybe that's on me. Maybe I do a bad job of that. I don't know. But all I do is come on this microphone and tell you how I feel. That's what I observed. That's what I saw.
And you know what? You didn't hear it from me. And if Mac was here, he would vouch for this. I've said this 1,000 times, whether it be working on Woodward or whether I did some things with Mac on the radio in the past or television or whatever the case may be. Do you know when the clock started? At the start of this year. He got hired August 19th, 2019. I've said this probably 500 times since that date. And I said, guys, forget the first 5 years. The clock starts at the beginning of the 24-25 season. I've said it in clips 10,000 times, and nobody wanted to hear it, but here we are. Now, if you want to play all right, now that the clock has started, am I allowed to bitch? Yeah, have at it. You are. 100%. You are 100% within your right. We are now 5 years, the rebuild of 5 years into it. I didn't think they'd make the playoff, but did I think they would have as many holes as they have right now? No, I also didn't think that either.
Yeah, that's where I am. I'm done with it. I'm done with the leash. You got to make the playoffs this year. You have to. You can't go backwards. Right now it's trending like they're going backwards. They have, I would say, a top 5 defensive pairing in the NHL with Mo Seider and Simon Edvinsson, and then the rest of the defense is absolute dog shit. That's unacceptable. You need to bring in NHL defensemen. Like, you brought in guys, they fucking suck. That's on Steve Yzerman. You let go of Wallman to try to get Trouba. It didn't work out. You didn't have a backup plan, and now you got Jeff fucking Petrie and Justin Hall getting real-time minutes, and we're seeing what's happening. The offense, the scheme, what they're doing, I'm done with Derek Lalonde. Derek Lalonde can pack his bags right now, if you ask me.
And that's
I'm done with his offensive and defensive schemes. The 1-3-1, it's not fucking working. All right, you can't tell me this team offensively, how it's built right now, is this bad. To be getting outshot 2-1 every fucking game. It's embarrassing. It is not a good product. I need a head on a spike, and it's newsy.
And that's a great segue, Spenny. You should look into getting into this business. That was a great setup by you, so I can deliver this. Sean, the Derek Lalonde thing. ...
Didn't ask.
I don't know how you could make a justification for him keeping his job, and he's a great guy. Like, seriously, I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. I don't want Mother Teresa as my coach. Screw her out. You know, I don't care what a nice guy you are, what a good guy you are, how great you are with the media. I don't know how anybody at this point in time, and remember, he didn't take over a great situation. Whether we want to admit it or not, a lot of people have been putting the cart in front of the horse with this hockey team for a few years now. And to those people, I say, well, you're a victim of your own expectations, okay? But now that clock has started, okay? And much like we were talking about with Christopher Ilitch earlier, I have no reason to believe that Christopher Ilitch is the answer and that he's going to open up his checkbook and just start throwing checks out. I don't. If he does, tip of the cap, I'll be the first guy to say it. At this point in time, I don't know how anybody could look at this situation and say Derek Lalonde is the answer. I don't know how you could do that, because you have to, when you're dealing with what you have, like, I'll get back to the PK, you can make it better, okay? I'm not saying that the pieces that they have dictate that they should be one of the best penalty killing units in the league. But my gosh, to be languishing at 30, I think it's 30. Please, somebody fact check me. And about 65%, it's awful. Like, you just accept it. Every game they're going to give up a power play goal. Like, I mean, that's just kind of the way it's been so far this year. So is that something that you can improve? Absolutely, you can improve that. No doubt about that. And if you don't see some changes, I think the seat is, I think the seat is warm right now. I do. I think the seat is warm right now.
And look, like Tactile Puma says, it's year 6. I don't want to hear a damn thing about Abdelkader anymore. Well, it is like part of the timeline, though, my friend. It is. Now, with that being said, even through that, he has to, and for the linear crowd out there, and there's a big faction of the linear crowd, there has been improved. If you want to get down to that, get granular on it, he's improved this team every single year in the standings. Now, with that being said, and look, I figured them to be about what they were last year, where you're in the playoff mix. Maybe you get in, maybe you don't. I'm not going to let 2 points dictate whether or not you should blow the organization up or not. I don't work like that. I work in the real world. But with that being said, though, Sean, if there is a fall off, there does have to be a pound of flesh. And generally, in this game, the players aren't going to be the pound of flesh. I'm just saying. And the public, you listen to Spenny, and people like Spenny, because there's a lot of them in this chat right now. I think unilaterally, they make their case for who the pound of flesh is.
I think you make a call to Igor or Sergey. I think you have to at this. Like, Derek Lalonde has to go. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure he's a great dude. Shit's not working. And partially, the defense, I blame on Steve Yzerman. The way the defense is set up right now, I blame on Steve Yzerman. I like some of the guys he got down the pipe. Obviously ASP, I'm a huge fan of him. But it's not going to be a year or two before he gets some actual ice time with the big club. You had to get guys to fill a void. Last year, the defense wasn't good, and you lost 2 of your 4 best defensemen from that team, and you didn't replace them. Like, you flat out did. You lost Gostisbehere. As much of a traffic cone he was defensively, he provided something. You lost Jake Wallman, who also wasn't the best defender, but he provided something, some kind of punch from the blue line. You did not replace that at all. If all your eggs were in the Trouba basket, that is a piss-poor decision from Steve Yzerman, because you need backup plans, and you need to replace that blue line that you have outside of your top two, which are top two defensive pairing on any team in the NHL. You have no NHL defensemen on this team, and it's embarrassing.
We're in a position right now, too, like if you talk about the coaches, and you threw two names out there that I think it fits the Steve Yzerman mold. Now, I'm not saying that this is his mindset. What I am saying definitively is this is his track record. He is not a guy that goes out there and gets the recycled guy. Every guy that he has brought in his tenure in the National Hockey League has been the new guy, okay? And it started with Guy Boucher. He was the hot up-and-coming name, and it never happened for him, but he was the hot up-and-coming game, and he went and swiped him. John Cooper, I think his track record kind of speaks for himself. And then Lalonde. So if that's the road that we're going down, I know a lot of people are throwing the name Joel Quenneville out here, and he's got some local connections. He might do that, but his MO has been, and you brought up whether it be Igor or Sergei or a guy that's an assistant coach on another bench right now, because I know for a fact, he's had some conversations with guys in that ilk. I think that's what we're looking for. If you're looking for one of those guys, this is a true and tested winner. I don't think that's the road he goes down. I think Steve is a guy that likes to give that young guy, or maybe not so young, the career coach his first opportunity, and let's see how he does.
Try to find his guy.
That's going to be interesting.
We got to go to break, though.
Yeah, real quick, Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into there. iHearter, we are still paying Abdelkader, correct? Yes, as a matter of fact.
Spartan Dog, get your money.
$1.05 million this year. He does come off the books, though, after next year. $1.05 million next year for Justin Abdelkader, 1.2% of your salary cap.
Is that good?
Planet Fitness is good, as a matter of fact. It's the best gym in the gym game, I can tell you, because I've been a member there for 3 years, and I'll never be a member at another gym. Planet Fitness literally has everything that I need. You want to do cardio? Tons of treadmills, elliptical, stair machines, all of that. You want to push weights like Spencer Raxter? What are we on today, Spenny? Back day for Spenny. He can do it at Planet Fitness. Why are you going to pay more money to lift the same weights? They weigh the same. You want to do the stretch zone? They have that for you. 30-minute circuit if you're pressed for time. Go take a shower in the sparkling clean facilities as well. Locker room area. It's perfect, everybody. Planet Fitness is all you need. Black Card membership is just $24.99 per month. That's it, guys. Some of you paying $80, $90 a month for a gym membership to lift the same weights. Hey, if that's what you want to do, God bless you. I don't understand it, but go do what you want to do. The rest of us will be over here at Planet Fitness because your fitness is essential.
What about Second Best?
Second Best, that is also essential. It's the home of the Woodward Sports pregame show on Sunday game days for Lions home games. Myself, Sean Belizean, will be out there, 42 Watson Street. Elite Chicken Wings, and I was not familiar with their chicken wing game, but we were introduced to it on Sunday, and it was good. Elite Chicken Sandwich, all the Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey you can stand as well. It's all out there for you. This is an elite spot. The trend is picking up. I see more and more crowds, bigger crowds in there every weekend, and before every downtown Detroit event, not just sporting event, concerts, all of it, Second Best is the place. Second Best, come get some.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Win free bud for a year. Yes, that's right. Free bud for a year at Dispo Dispensary. Scan the QR code to register today. You got to be 21 and older. Special promos may apply. Make sure you tap in. Dispo Dispensary. They got the best product, the best people, and the best deals. Win free bud for a year. Scan that QR code to get your chance to win.
All right, keeping it pushing. Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in for D-Mac. He'll be here today, tomorrow, Monday as well. We'll be together also on the New Holland Brewing Company Woodward Sports pregame show. We got KG. My guy Chase is in the building, dressed as Blues Clues. What's his name? Steve? Steve
Yeah,
from
Steve.
Blues Clues.
Joe. We've had a bunch of different.
There's a couple guys. Yeah.
Joe wore an orange,
he
different
did.
pattern. Yeah.
Steve shirt.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said I only acknowledge Steve.
That's fair.
Well, I mean, that's how great Blues Clues was, though. The host was a system host.
Yeah.
Just plug the next host in there.
Yeah.
Kids were still locked on it.
The other guys were kind of weird looking up.
Well, children's TV is a
Damn
weird.
Periwinkle
It's a
caused
weird
more
place.
problems than you could shake a stick at.
Yeah.
Did the male song for Wake Up Woodward this morning.
He did.
Well, you won't be doing it on Big D Energy.
I'm not volunteering.
We did just get a letter, though. For what it's worth, we did just get a letter.
It was mail time. Spencer Raxter here in the building. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Vor says, did you guys do worst Halloween candy yet? You guys want to do it now or you want to do it next segment?
We can do it right now.
All right.
You want to do it now?
Yeah.
No, Vorse, we haven't. But here we are right now. All right, we do top 5 list. We did it yet. Typically, we do it on Wednesday. We did top 5 Halloween candies. But it is a holiday. So I feel like you have to do something on the holiday. So instead of top 5, we're doing bottom 5. The worst Halloween candies out there. Bottom 5. Spencer Raxter, you're locked and loaded?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Let's see it.
My bottom 5 or my top 5 worst Halloween candies.
Young spin. Graduation.
Yeah, graduation day. Shout out to Mom. Came out. We at number 5, I got York peppermint patties.
Trash. Trash.
First of all, I've classically conditioned myself to not do any mint. When I was young, I ate a bunch of. We had a mint plant in the backyard, and I ate a bunch of it and threw up.
Oh.
So now, anytime any mint, I gag.
Sounds like my Southern Comfort story.
I don't even use mint toothpaste. I don't use any of that. So York peppermint patties, absolute dog shit. At number 4, circus peanuts.
Trash.
They're literally packing peanuts.
Horrible.
Yeah,
It's the same exact thing.
It is.
There is no difference between those two things. At number 3, Whoppers. Whoppers, Whoopers, whatever. I used to call them Whoopers, but they are Whoppers.
They're bad.
They suck. And they're always there.
suck.
That's what it is. The only time you get fucking Whoppers is on Halloween, and there's always like 20 packs of them. Whoppers suck. Nobody enjoys Whoppers. They're not as egregious as other things on this list, but they're always present. They're always there on Halloween. Number 2, Boston baked beans.
Trash.
Absolute garbage.
Horrible.
There is no one would ever eat these ever.
The black community would like
People
to
are
argue with
literally screwing with you if they put that in your bag. Like that's somebody that doesn't like you.
If you eat Boston baked
now, hold
beans,
on.
you probably have an assault charge.
KG says that they're big in the black community.
I don't believe that.
No, Boston baked beans and lemon heads. They go crazy. They're 25 cents for
I
a
won't hear
reason
any
in the hood.
disrespect on lemon
Yeah.
heads.
Yeah.
Those are two completely
They go hand in hand, though.
entities.
They go
KG.
hand in hand.
They're big in the black community. Boston baked beans.
They are. I'm serious.
I don't believe it.
shit.
I refuse to believe they're big in any
They keep
community.
them right next to the
Except for-
lemon heads, and people go for both. It's the reason they're the same price.
Hell no.
Yeah, I'm
Boston
telling
baked
you.
beans suck.
No.
And then
Hey.
number one is loose change.
You can't be giving out pennies and stuff
It's the
like
worst. It's the worst. Like, fuck you, Grandma. Go buy a fucking bag of candy.
that. That's all you gotta do.
You had all year to prepare for this day, Grandma.
Yeah.
You could take your change back to the counter any day of the year.
Literally save a penny a day and you can go get yourself a bag of candy.
Yeah.
And like a reputable bag of candy,
Yeah.
too. Not the BS that's on my list.
We
coming
have
up.
black people in the chat that are agreeing with me.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Really?
okay. I'm sorry you guys subject yourself to that.
Wow.
Go get some M&Ms. Fuck Boston baked beans, dude.
See, I'm not going to give anything away. I'm just going to say there are 2 items that you had on your list that I'm telling you right now, I was one of those kids. Like, if you put 2 items, and I'll get to them in a second, like that, they're being thrown back at your house before the night's over.
Yeah.
Like, I would take mental notes, right? Yeah, not now, but at some point tonight, this is going to be thrown back at your house. And you had 2 items on that list that I would throw back at somebody's house.
Boston baked beans suck.
Chuck
The
says.
black community needs to do better.
coming out for me, man.
Chuck
The black,
says.
the black community needs to do better. You should not subject
In
yourself
what respect,
to the mediocrity
Spenny?
of Boston.
Why don't you just say what you want to say
I will
right
say
now?
what I want to say.
What is a black job,
That is a
Smitty?
terrible.
What is a
terrible-
black job?
There is. That should not be a black job. Eating Boston baked beans should not be an anybody job. You shouldn't subject yourself to mediocrity. Aim higher. Get some M&Ms.
Vote for Smitty. What else you gonna do?
I'll vote
You
for
can-
Spenny. I will remove
What other choice do you
Boston
have?
baked beans from the black community. Vote for Spenny.
And what else, Spenny?
That's it. That's all. That's my only problem with the black community.
Spencer Raxter has a plan for the black community, and you won't like it.
You can't, listen, you cannot put lemon heads in there, though, KG.
No,
I'm still shook
I agree.
over that.
No, they are hand in hand in the black community. I
Lemon
swear.
heads are fire.
Lemon heads, there's no comparison, though.
I hear you. I'm not a Boston baked bean fan, but I'm just telling you from my experience.
Wow.
Chuck in the chat, the black community does approve Boston baked beans.
I'm trying to tell y'all.
Man, they are rallying for it.
You need to call a meeting. Like you need your leaders to sit down. Like, we need a brain trust to get rid of this deep rooted love for Boston baked beans. That cannot be a thing.
Matt Miller in the chat cracked me up. White boy here. Boston baked beans are incredible. I don't know why they.
Saga, Boston baked beans are a Depression era dessert.
Right. That's what I like. Listen, I think the black
can
community.
we pin that one to the top?
I think the black community for like introducing us to brisket. At one point in time, brisket was kind
Peanut
of
butter. I mean, we got our hits, man.
you guys
We got our hits. I was just saying, we got our hits, man.
Shout out George Washington Carver.
Right. You damn right. You damn right. We got our hits,
You
man.
guys figured out how to make one of the greatest meats of all time.
Yeah,
By
man.
taking this piece of shit side meat that nobody cared about, now brisket is up there near the top.
Yeah.
You can't sugarcoat Boston baked beans, though. They're ass. They
I'm
come
just
right
telling
out of
y'all
your
what
ass.
I know, man. I'm just trying to drop some knowledge. That's it.
I would rather
okay.
eat Smarties than Boston baked beans.
I agree with that.
That's your prerogative.
I'd rather eat almost everything on my list than Boston baked beans. All right, we got off task there. Stunner. Let's do this. Let's take the break. When we come back, Chase, KG. We have D-Mac's list, which will be interpreted by Sean Belizean, and we will have my list as well.
I'll tell you about Swiss Insurance. If you're munching on a box of Boston baked beans, you might
You're gonna need to get covered.
You might crack a tooth on those things. So get some Swiss Insurance. Call Mark today, 313-530-1698, or send him an email at mark@swissins.com. Right now, take out your phone, write an email to mark@swissins.com and tell him whether you like Boston baked beans or not. I need to see
Let
it.
it go,
Do it right now because I'm disappointed with the black community.
I'm sorry,
I love
man.
the black community.
I'm
and
sorry,
that let
man.
me down, but it's all right. Boston baked beans still suck. Swiss Insurance is still great. Make sure you call Mark today.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service the customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn and Dane and find the brands you want at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford, together, let's ride.
This is a stunning development. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in for DMAC KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the building as well. Boston Baked Beans.
Wow.
Does my heart good to see the hood come out.
Danny G, my black friend's family always has them around. His dad loves them.
Gross.
LMAO.
Just just eat some honey roasted peanuts.
It's not the same.
Way better. Exactly. It's not the same. I don't want it to be. It's way better.
Wow.
I'm just telling y'all, man.
Big Play J. My wife has a gallon Ziploc bag of Boston Baked Beans that they serve at the movies.
That sounds awful.
Now and Laters are catching some slander for some reason. I don't know.
Another candy that's big in the black community.
I like Now and Laters.
Maybe not so much now, but yes.
Maybe
Listen,
later.
they kill your teeth, but it's a great candy.
We have breaking news
I'm a
as
Now
well.
and Later guy.
Rack, I texted my black friends. Confirm Boston Baked Beans are a big
There
thing.
it is.
I'm stunned.
There it is.
I'm just saying, if you pour out,
There
your pillowcase full of candy at the end of the night, and I see Boston Baked Beans in there, I'm throwing them out.
See,
a
when
black
I
person's picking
think
them
of
up.
that genre, there's like a family, right? There's like
yeah.
a family there. There's lemon heads. There's like the cinnamon red hots, which people come
Oh, those suck.
like serious. But Boston Baked Beans are so far and away the redheaded stepchild.
It's not
That's
that
not a
bad.
candy.
I would take Boston Baked Beans over the hot tamales.
Would you really?
Yeah.
That's
Just
yeah.
that.
Hot tamales kind
Well,
of.
more on that later.
Those are
I'm
just-
taking Mike and Ike's over.
Those are just cinnamon Mike and Ike's.
Lemon heads over.
Jolly Joe.
Hot
Remember
tamales.
Jolly
Not fair,
Joe?
dog.
He's a
Mike
good
and Ike's
dude.
on a different
Hot
Mike and Ike's
tamales
are
are just
fire,
cinnamon
yeah.
Mike and Ike's.
All right.
Yeah.
We're
They are.
never gonna make this through. All right, Chase, step up to the mic.
All right.
It's your time. Real quick, Freddie Felt 313. Good and Plenty's are all 5 of my worst 5.
Good and Plenty
candies.
is they're good. If you have Sambuca, the liquor, it tastes exactly like
The
Good and Plenty.
fruity Good and Plenties, which you never find anymore, are magic.
My dad
Good
loves.
and Plenties are ass, but the fruity Good and Plenties are magic.
They rip off.
My
Mike
dad
and Ike.
loves Good and Plenty and Necco wafers, so I like pick those up from him.
Your dad's
Was your dad
nasty.
80 years old?
Yeah, he's 67, so he was born in '57 near the Lions. So.
Wow.
All right, Chase, step up to the mic here.
All
What
right,
do you
all
got?
right. Top 5
Bottom 5.
or bottom 5 worst Halloween candies. I'm a great person to trade with. I'll just
What?
say that. I'm a great.
Oh, I'd make so many deals.
You put
with
Butterfinger?
Wait.
You guys got.
You know this was worst Halloween candy.
I do not like peanut butter. You guys are giving all the love to George Washington Carver before the break. I don't like
Don't
peanut
you
butter.
dare slander that man in here.
I don't
you
like.
dare.
I don't like peanut butter.
This
Yeah,
is
we
your-
not
this is
tolerating
your worst
that.
list?
Yeah, these are things I do not like. I've told you before. I'm a really picky eater.
I mean, 2 and 4
Yeah,
is cool, but the
Butterfinger.
rest of that.
Reese's #1.
I don't.
That's
blasphemy, dude.
I don't like
He doesn't
peanut
vibe
butter.
with peanut
All
butter.
right, you know
man.
what though?
Even not
I'm gonna
liking
focus.
peanut
I'm gonna
butter.
focus on the positive. Almond Joy and Mounds are ass.
Yeah.
Joy is good.
Thank you.
So real
Thank
quick,
you.
if you're just listening, I'll run through. 5 is Butterfinger, 4 is Baby Ruth, 3 are the Whoppers, 2 Almond Joy, #1 Reese's.
2 and 4, okay.
I've never had a
Baby
Baby Ruth. I've never had one.
many
I don't
nuts,
think I'd
man.
like it.
No, you won't. It's way too many nuts.
I hear Baby Ruth, and I think
Never
of.
had one. I don't think I'd like it.
It's a chocolate covered payday.
I removed payday to put Baby Ruth on there.
Wow.
But
You're a communist.
Chase, where you trick or treating at today? I'm gonna pull up after it's over.
I'm
we'll
going
make some deals.
to be stealing all of the leftover candy from my roommate's parents when we go to their house.
Hey, bring your Reese's to the studio. We want them.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a great person to trade with. My dad and my sister, we made some excellent deals after Halloween every year. But I do not like peanut butter. I never have. Wow. I never will. I think coconut is disgusting.
It is.
Coconut's good.
Almonds in a Hershey's, that's top tier. But
Aaron to the Stone sums it up. Tafuk is up with Chase's list. Robert Close. Chase didn't understand.
I knew this would be controversial.
This is probably the worst list I've ever seen.
I'm a really picky eater. Like, I don't like peanut butter.
Chase
I
is
don't
insane.
like cheese. Those are two huge things that are just take me out.
Ex-mayor said you deserve rocks instead of candy.
Listen, I think Butterfingers are incredibly underrated.
Thank you.
Overall,
people are saying that they changed them though, and they're not the same.
Yeah, they aren't.
The one thing I will say about Butterfingers, and I think this is, you know what? I never remember that shit being stuck up in the top of my mouth the way it is now.
Yeah,
I don't know what they do it,
but
now when I eat Butterfingers, I literally have to be that disgusting fella that just puts my finger in my mouth thinking, I mean, it's a bonus 10 minutes later, though, because I got half a Butterfinger stuck in the
No, they changed the recipe about 4 years ago, and the taste is totally different. Like, the older Butterfingers that we came up with, oh, my God, elite. Like, nothing like in my favorite candy. But, these ones today are weird.
All right, KG.
Synthetic as fuck.
I say the good Lunchables always had Butterfingers in them, and that always disappointed me because, I was always looking for the Nestle Crunch Lunchables.
I like the Nestle Crunch one, but
that's another underrated, just a solid,
solid
Crunch bar.
Yeah.
Oh, love Crunch. Love Crunch.
All right,
KG, step up to the mic.
All right.
Your bottom 5, top 5.
Hey, dude.
Hey, your boy get around out here. Your boy get around out here.
You chilling with Bill?
Yeah, man. Hey, man. That is an event back in 2016. He did a campaign event, and I was one of the valet managers on duty, and I got to meet your boy Bill. I was complimenting the shoe game in that picture.
Bill,
man. Shout out Bill Clinton, man. But hey, he the homie,
you
bro.
done it now.
He the homie, bro. Hey, I'm just saying. But at number 5, and Spitty's laugh. At number 5,
there is so much magic on that picture.
Hey, man.
Can we leave that up? Like the whole thing, his list, the picture.
Listen.
Leave it up the rest of the show.
He passed stop and frisk, but besides that, he was a dope president. Hey, it just is what it is. Stop and frisk, we ain't with that. But everything else, the sacks, the top, hey man, the top of the oval.
He gets hosed.
Yeah, hey man, no, Bill is that guy.
Don't question the resume.
He's electric in person, by the way, but no, he was cool. At number 5, Almond Joys. I just coconut and chocolate, really coconut, but coconut and chocolate don't vibe with me.
You're trash too. All right.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Number 4.
Trust me.
Move on.
Number 4, any peppermint patties. I don't care if it's York. I don't give a fuck. Peppermint and chocolate were never meant to go together. And
Thank you.
If you believe that, then something's wrong with you. You're probably a serial killer. And and number 3, dots.
Dots suck.
I can't stand fucking dots. They're the hardest, tasteless fucking candy you can ever fucking get. They don't taste fruity. They just taste like death. And number 2, any type of licorice. Now, I'm not a Twizzler. I'm just not a licorice guy. Twizzlers don't really do it for me. I don't hate on anybody that do. But black licorice off the table.
Awful.
Off the table.
Awful.
Like, I'm gonna look at you different.
Nobody
if you got
eats
black
it. Not
licorice.
even the black community. No communities.
Nobody.
No communities eat black licorice.
Wait, hey, what are you trying to say? Even the black community won't
Well,
eat it.
they're big
What
black
are you trying to
communities.
say? What's up with that? What's up with that, Spin?
The Puerto Rican community, the Asian community, nobody eats black licorice.
Oh my God! And at number
Filipinos
1,
might. They eat some weird shit.
and
Shout out Mount Corwell.
What are you saying, Spenny?
at number 1, razors and needles, because for some reason, at some point in Halloween history, there were sickos out there putting needles and razors in Halloween candy
And there's
bags.
one every year.
And my parents used to literally, hey, don't touch that candy till we go through it. And we literally poured the whole candy bag on the table every year and sorted it for needles and razors. What fucking sicko is putting needles and razors in Halloween candy bags?
When did that start? Where did that start?
I don't know. But every year we would check the bag.
I'm a big Michael Myers. Like, I love the whole Halloween family, right?
Yeah.
Halloween 2, there's a scene, if you've seen the original Halloween 2.
Yeah.
There's a scene in the movie where a kid, now I don't know about you, you get your oh,
I
look,
know
an
what scene you
apple.
talk
I'm going
about,
to take a
too.
bite of an apple. That's as quickly thrown back at the house as anything. But if you remember, there's a scene where a kid has to go to the hospital because he's got a razor stuck in the roof of his mouth. And that was the first time I remember hearing about it. Like as a kid, I was like, for real? And then it became one of those things that, much like you, KG, my dad, old school cop, before we ate any of it, it was on the kitchen table,
gotta check
and
it.
he was literally searching piece by piece. And I was like, what kind of fucked up world do we live in?
Oh, for real.
Where somebody's firing razors and shit,
That's when
right?
you learn the world ain't shit at a very young age. Like,
I got a couple-
putting razors and needles in candy.
I got a couple cigarette butts in one of my candies.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's
Jesus.
That's
That's
weird.
center line for you, though, right?
Yeah.
The math checks out. Woodward Sports chat thread. Mike O. Billy was the first black president. So there's that out there, KG.
Yeah, I know that's a popular opinion. He wasn't, but his skills on the saxophone are appreciated by the black community.
fair.
I love when KG speaks for the black
Does
community.
the Australian community eat black licorice? They eat some weird,
They
stupid
do
shit.
eat weird shit, but nobody I know
feel like
eats
the
black
weird, the
licorice.
weirdest, like the Japanese community and the Australian community eat some weird shit. They do.
See, you guys are taking me back now. I mentioned this, like, I don't know why, and I kind of feel bad because I'm in the company of you-know-who, because he said I like dots. Like, my kids, when they came home, the two things I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt were all mine: Milk Duds and dots. Those were my kids just never
Duds
touched
suck.
them.
Oh, I like milk duds.
Now listen, am I
They
gonna
okay.
put dots up on the list? No, I'm not. But I wouldn't put it on the garbage part. You know what I
Well,
mean?
then
So
don't
if you
look
don't
at my
want your
list.
dots,
Dots
you
is
can-
bad, man.
Yeah, you can hang them my way.
They like the Butterfinger sticking to the teeth. It's a
Yeah,
gummy
oh, it
candy.
does.
Why is it sticking to my fucking teeth?
Oh, it does. It's
Scabs in the chat. Spenny, sorry about those butts. Was probably from my grandmother's house.
I mean, hey.
All right, let's do this then. Let's have Sean we have D-Mac's list. Let's have Sean Belesian's interpretation of Darren McCarty's top 5, bottom 5 Halloween candies. Number 5, candy corn.
Well, I mean, it's self-explanatory.
It's a non-negotiable.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's why it's not on my
don't-
list. It's
I don't need
non-negotiable.
to. I don't need to go any further. Apples, like it is the. Literally, it is the king of like the garbage food holiday.
Yeah.
And somebody wants to, or how about the asshole that puts a toothbrush in?
Yeah, I know, right? Right.
That's back at the house immediately.
That's so you're getting egged.
Yeah, that's suckers. See, that's pretty. If you get one of those gum suckers,
It's such a refined.
The Tootsie Pops. Those are money.
right?
Yeah.
And you give me a Tootsie Popper, but if you
The
give me
blue
like a
Tootsie
regular
Pop.
sucker, I agree with Matt.
The Dum Dums. You don't like Dum Dums?
I'm with you
I
too.
don't want to eat Dum
It is-
Dums.
You get Dum Dums.
To me, there's
Dum Dums
blow
are
pops and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, no,
You get
they're-
Dum Dums from your doctor. I don't want them on Halloween.
I mean, they not bad when you run out of candy. That's when you getting toward the bottom of the bag and you just got Dum Dums in there. It's cool.
What do you
Yeah,
got,
I would say you can't rip through a sucker like you can with like your Kit Kats and all your other treats. So you save all your suckers for the end. That way, when you're like, oh, I'm gonna keep the party rolling, even though like there's not as much.
Oh, you get a little more duration out of them, you're saying?
Yeah.
I mentioned his number 2 on this list though, because I talked about how I was that guy in the mean streets of Livonia. I'd fire shit back at people's houses.
Popcorn balls. That's elite pull by D-Mac.
Why
Those
would you-
suck.
I didn't know that was on the list.
Never been a
to
fan.
me, it was like, well, guess what? Now you have your first Christmas ornament up at your house because I'm throwing the popcorn ball back at your house and it's going to stick in the bushes. That's awful. And change. We already talked about it, but D-Mac's right. Come on, this is about the kids. Give them some candy, right? Give them some candy. Don't be throwing any pennies and change in there.
I just saw one in the chat that I have to put in my honorable mention. I didn't even think about it. The little prayer books. The little prayer books.
I done got those
from the
before.
old lady at the end of the street, like, listen up, Grandma. I know you got a date with him pretty soon, but I want some fucking candy. Like, I'm a man of God.
Yeah.
But I do that on
not tonight.
Sunday.
Yeah.
This is not for praying.
She's trying to tell you they have all the candy you need in heaven. Spec.
Like, seriously, I'm down with the Lord as much as the next guy, okay?
Yes.
But on this night, give the kids some candy, right?
Nick Lucido in the chat. Let me tell you about the Italian community, boys. No, I'm not going to talk about NAFTA. Like, you can't. We're not going down the free trade agreements and everything like that, all right? We're not doing it, guys. E-Fog says the Swedish eat black licorice. Really?
Yes.
Makes sense.
Crazy.
The Swedish
they do
are weirdos.
like those Swedish fish.
Swedish fish is great.
Yeah.
I love Swedish
They
fish.
do like those Swedish, but it's the same texture. I'm not disrespecting Swedish fish.
It is the same texture, but
the
it's
same
executed
texture, but
way better.
Totally different taste. Oh, absolutely.
All right, Neil, we're gonna pump yours out real fast.
Yeah,
Pause.
here. Yeah, let's cook. All right, let me see. Top five worst Halloween candies. Number 5, Bitto honey. Trash. Will immediately break your teeth. Oh, it's me and the moms and the sister. That's a nice picture back in the day.
Yeah, bitter honeys
Look
are
at those
horrible.
things.
They're horrible.
Terrible.
Look at those things.
Terrible.
I forgot about those.
And I don't know how you could. Number 4, raisins. No one's brought up raisins.
I'm a raisin guy.
Listen.
I like raisins.
I love
But
raisins.
not on Thanksgiving. But
I
not on
love
Halloween.
raisins.
I'm saying like raisins.
Oh, just regular raisins?
Yeah, like that
Yeah,
Sunday.
don't put that in the Halloween candy.
Come on,
I'll tell
bro.
you what.
Yeah.
Raisins can save your life if you're candied out. If you're tweaking a little bit. You take the raisin shot.
get
and
you
it
there, right?
mellows you out.
Get you back to good.
It's like the shot to the heart.
Yeah.
Oh!
You eat it. You do the quick box of raisins, and you're good.
That's your Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction.
Number 3, peanut butter kisses. Those nasty things, Benny.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah.
Those things are gross too. Absolutely gross. They're in the Bitto honey family,
Yep,
close
they
cousins.
are.
Number 2, Good and Plenty. Any variation of Good and Plenty.
You don't like the
Mike
fruity
and
ones?
Ike's, the fruity ones,
Wow.
the hot tamales. They're all the same. They just put a different color wax on them, and you guys all act like it's something
Mike
brand
and Ike's
new.
are fire.
I like them.
They all suck.
I love
all
Mike
of them.
and Ike.
And then
Love
number
Mike and
1, candy corn. Look, I started this movement about 8 years ago. I'm proud of what it's become. I'm proud that most people have accepted the fact that no one really likes this stuff. And I'm happy. I'm happy with the job I did. I served my community. And that
Going
is it.
back many years, and we were talking about Blue's Clues earlier. For those of you that had young kids on Noggin, there was always an I don't like candy corn commercial that came on. And that was like 15 years ago. I was like, oh my gosh, they hit that right on top. Who likes candy corn? Oh, wow.
I like candy. I'll trade the Reese's
Tom
and the peanut
Mazzoli.
butter.
Tom
for-
Mazzoli
He likes
and
candy corn
Chase.
too?
Yes.
You like candy corn, but you don't like Reese's?
My grandmother.
You might be
my,
the
I'd have the
Antichrist.
greatest deals
Yeah,
with you.
my abuela, she had this glass pumpkin dish, and it'd always be filled with the regular candy corn, the chocolate candy corn, and like the big pumpkins. And I'd always just reach in there and just eat handfuls all the time.
That sounds terrible.
And like
Sounds like
after
you had a
she
horrible
passed, like
childhood.
it's with my mom now, and like it's something like I love that thing getting filled up because it lasts for months, and I'm the only one who eats it.
That sounds gross.
Gross. Absolute. Tremendous one. Good list, Neil. Thank you. I took a lot of time and I took a lot of pride in that list as well. Pre-game show, everybody. It's me and that guy.
Really?
With the New Holland Brewing Company, Woodward Sports pregame show. But before that, don't forget, 8 to 9 a.m., Woodward and Maine. Matthew, he's Matthew on Sundays. With Terry Foster, they prime the pump. They get it ready to go. 10 o'clock, we step in the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. Home games were live at Second Best, 42 Watson Street, brought to you by Sabbath Coffee Roasters over there in Clawson, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. When it's game time, it's Tully time. Sean and I usually have a couple drinks. We have some laughs. It's a lot of fun. We take a look back, a flashback against the opponent they're playing. It's a lot of fun. We get in there, we talk that ish, and thousands of you are watching it, guys. Nobody does football like Woodward Sports Network does football.
Real quick before we go to break, Chase talking about liking candy corn, and Real Cream of the Wheat in the chat says, I like this guy.
Oh, wow.
Real Cream of Wheat and candy corn in Chase's corner.
There you go.
The anti-Neil food court.
Right.
You got it, absolutely. But I'm pro football, so you should be pro Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
When I pay our bills, unlike my opponent, Dave Coulter, I won't take advantage of my job because I work for you. I'm Nick Jonai, and by the way, I do pay my water bills on time, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Nick Jonai for Oakland County.
The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza now has signature wings. And Sean,
Wings.
if you want to wait, we got some Soroki's coming in, courtesy of Pete
Big
Spivak.
Pete.
Really?
Pete bought
cooked.
Soroki's for everybody. He cooked. I think he put a lot of money on an Aaron Judge home run.
Yeah.
And so he is treating the
cashed out.
office to
$100
some
worth.
Soroki's.
Doughboy cash out.
Yes,
Shout
sir.
out.
$100
Well.
worth.
Make sure you get your Soroki's. Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. The wings are to die for. My favorite is the spicy garlic. Try them all and choose for yourself. To find Soroki's near you, go to Sorokis.com.
All right, keeping it pushing here. A lot of fun here on Halloween.
man,
Happy
it's great.
Halloween to everybody. Just remember the Christmas music starts tonight at midnight.
Boo. You might want to hear that jolly shit.
But it's amazing.
Can I
Six-
tell you, you know my former, one of my former jobs, it was a days-long process when they would flip because they had to turn the radio station into like the North Pole. And it was, I'm not joking, it was insane. They would literally, you knew a few days in advance. So like my kids, I'd tell them, all right, this is going to be the day. This is going to be the day. Because they got all excited when they were kids. But I'm not joking. You see, all of a sudden a box shows up, and then multiple boxes, and then everybody's running around like a chicken with their head cut off. And Neil, you touched on it earlier. People don't. It is incredibly lucrative.
Yeah.
That
It's a corporate holiday.
that is
Highest ratings.
That's why people flip formats. And if you remember in this town, a few other stations decided that they would try to do it too, but because somebody was the original, nobody really competes with the original. So you bet as soon as they can do it, and my guess is, Neil, with Friday being November 1st, my guess is it at some point in time tomorrow in the morning, they'll make the announcement and make the flip. That's my guess.
Weak.
KG.
People act fake as hell for one day out of 365. You would never act like this on any other day.
It's been happening
so
with
fake.
Halloween. Halloween's getting bigger and bigger lately. I feel like it's
Oh, it
kind
has
of.
been. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
At least I'm getting something for Halloween.
It's gotten so much bigger that we forget that literally the holiday season starts the next day.
As a horror fan flick fan, I
Yeah.
love horror flicks.
Yeah.
Love them, okay?
Especially the old school.
What happened? AMC, they have their Fear Fest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Forever and a day, it would start around October 17th. You'd have a couple weeks, and then they decided, well, we're going to start it in early October, and then they decided we're going to start it October 1st, and then they decided the last couple of years they have the countdown to Fear Fest. That started like September 25th and everything. So yeah, are you kidding me? If there's a way to milk some cash out of it, that's what they're going to do, baby.
Ain't no fat white man bought me nothing. Just saying.
It's true.
Woodward Sports chat
Santa
thread.
lives in the hood.
Chase, how can you look at yourself in the mirror?
I got 4 eyes to see myself with.
It should be illegal. Cairo says it should be illegal to play Christmas music before Thanksgiving
Listen,
Day.
I'm a
Thank
Christmas
you.
music guy. Temptation's Christmas album is
Well, that's it. That's
electric.
different. That's a different level. But
I do enjoy the R&B style holiday music.
it's the best.
It is the best by far.
I love the old school stuff. I'm sorry, like
Nat
seriously.
King Cole.
Right?
Nat King
give me
Cole
that
Christmas
stuff.
album is electric.
It is. It's elite.
Unbelievable.
It's
There's
elite.
a really good
Scrooge
Dan
McDuck, I don't
Fogelberg
care.
song I always like around this time of year. I don't know the name of it though.
And I'm
It must be great.
a
No,
big
I know
Mariah
what song
Carey
you're
guy.
talking about.
Not gonna
It's,
lie.
Oh, no, stop it.
Dude,
You singing the
That song-
Mariah
that
Carey?
song's elite. That song is elite.
Deny it all you want.
When they hit that.
Yeah.
Deny it all you want. Mariah Carey is a force around the holidays.
Can't
She is an unstoppable force.
And you can sit here and lie to me, but damn it, don't lie to yourself.
Old Lang Syne is that song.
Yeah,
That's-
I wasn't gonna remember that.
I
but
love all the Rankin Bass stuff, man. You can give me Frosty and Rudolph and the Year Before Santa Claus. That stuff's great. To me, it's timeless.
Dean Martin calls Rudolph Rudy.
Nobody's cooler.
Like that's the coolest thing ever.
And then
Rudy, the red-nosed
he speaks with that little fake
After he's
German
beating up his woman.
accent. He says Mitt in the song.
gotta do it, beating his
like
woman.
Dean is the king of cool. That's anything Dean Martin does is cool. And I live by that.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Michael Daniel, let's go Lions. Yes, let's do it. Let's take the break, come back. I got a question for Sean about this game this weekend. Actually, Spenny had the question, but I'll read it. So that is it. And it's a very, very valid question. I want to discuss it. Tell them about Mark White.
I will tell them about Mark White, because if you're looking to buy or sell your home, Mark White should be your first call. He'll save you up to $5,000 your closing costs. Call him at 248-290-8242 or visit him at markwhitesells.com. Again, he will save you up to $5,000 of your closing costs. Mark White should be your first call when you're looking to buy or sell your home.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Neil Rule here for KDK Law. Look, we've been joking a lot today, and we're having a lot of fun, but let's be serious for a minute here. You going through divorce, child visitation, child custody, family law, all that stuff, you're probably losing some sleep. KDK Law right here in Birmingham. They're available 24/7. 365. That is correct. KDK Law has over 10 years experience in the game. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law, they will have your back. There is no question about that. You need a squad. Scan that QR code on your screen. And look, if you mention Woodward Sports, KDK Law will pay the filing fee. This isn't about like getting a filing fee paid for, everybody. This is your life right here. Take control. Hire the very best in the game. KDK Law. They will have your back. All right, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizian, KG, Chase, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. JB Smoove, though, sent me a picture yesterday. We have a visual confirmation of Black Santa, KG.
Yeah, we're talking about, excuse me, talking about Terry in the chat.
Yes.
Got to get Terry in.
Terry will be in for our annual Black Santa update.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. As he says, look for Black Santa to deliver right around the 27th.
Yeah, it's going to be a little late. Just a little bit.
No, but it's one of the most electric, terrifying segments that we do around here, and it is a lot of fun.
The chat be losing it, man.
Yeah.
I love y'all.
What will Black Santa be delivering? ...
Right.
And then the chat just takes over.
You might get your card this year.
Maybe. We'll see.
Right.
We'll have him bring it in.
Don't be naughty between them.
Lions-Packers this weekend. Very, very baseline, very, very basic question to you, Mr. Sean Belizian. Is this the biggest game of the season?
Yeah,
I think so too.
And again, I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse because I think the Lions aren't in that spot anymore, Neil. We're not in that spot anymore. We are allowed to sit back and say those terms, bigger fish to fry now. Like we are. Okay, cool, that sucks. I mean, remember just a couple weeks ago, there were people out there were living, breathing organisms out there, Neil, that were sitting back and saying, oh man, are we going to be able to catch the Vikings? How'd that work out? So, am I going to sit there and say season depends on this? No, but up to this point in time, is it legitimate to say that this is the biggest game on the schedule? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I like being in this position, though. I do. I like being in the Okay, yes, we can say that, but all the goals are still ahead of this team. And the goals, we all know, are pretty simple. Get to the Super Bowl. To me, it's by any means necessary. I don't care if you're the wild card. I don't care if you're the 5 seed. I don't give a crap. But yes, in keeping with the format of this, look, before the season started, everybody thought that the Green Bay Packers were going to be their biggest threat in the division, right? Fair statement?
Yep.
Here we are. Go show them, just like you showed the Vikings a couple weeks ago, go show them who the big kid on the block still is.
Woodward Sports chat thread. This is more geared towards KG. Rack, does a black community leave out Boston baked beans instead of cookies for Black Santa?
No, we do not.
Okay, moving on.
Shout out Rack.
No, but Sean, for real though, I think it is the biggest game of the season, and I think it will be. I think it is the biggest game on the schedule, and here's why. Because of the way this has played out, if you win this game Sunday, you pretty much lock up the division.
It's a fact.
You pretty much lock it up. Road wins at Minnesota, road win at Green Bay, and then you just kind of cruise in, and you got the division won, which guarantees you a home playoff game, which is the path. And I'm not saying that's the goal anymore, because it's not. But it's the goal that's achievable this weekend. It's the goal that's really like the first big game of the year, and I think it will be the biggest big game of the year, because you lock those things up that are kind of non-negotiable. History has shown you need home playoff games to win, to go to the Super Bowl. Not every time. I know everyone runs, the Sam Flannels of the world.
To the rule.
Yeah, they're going to run to those 2 times where it didn't happen in the last 40 years, and that's fine, do you. But with all that being said, Sean, yes, it is. Because of the opportunity that presents itself, because of the roadmap of the season so far, and because of what the stakes are.
It's up to this point in time, I'm not going to argue with you, but I guess if we were supposed to take this to its logical conclusion, what if Frisco finds itself? And what if later in the season, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone? You can knock off Frisco, and you can set up home field advantage throughout. Like, I'm going to look at that game and go, okay, this is the twofer. Not only did we vanquish that Frisco ghost, but we just locked up home field advantage throughout. So again, it's hard to say that. I mean, hopefully, wouldn't it be great if they just locked that up well in advance and let everybody else argue over number 2? But to your point, Neil, I can't talk about what we haven't seen yet. All we can do is talk about now. Yeah, I think right now you can say that, and I think the Packers, whether we and I'm not going to go down that disrespecting the Vikings path, okay?
I will.
I know the Viking fans are waiting for us to do it. Cute little start. I'd be stunned if you didn't make the playoff. That's all fine and dandy. But I think everybody looked at the Packers as more of a threat than the Vikings. We'll see.
What if I told you, Sean, that the Minnesota Vikings... What if I told you?
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you, Sean, that the Minnesota Vikings, who play the Colts on Sunday Night Football, if they lost, would be tied for last in the division in the span of 17 days.
Can you imagine that?
3 weeks. Look what a difference 3 weeks makes.
I can't wait for all those apology tweets and Instagram DMs from all the Vikings fans. I can't wait, because I know that they'll come flying in. I know they will.
You know what they're saying right now, if they haven't already said it, we already went to Lambeau and won. You know, that's one of their 5 wins. But
barely, but
listen, if you guys don't make the playoffs, that's a catastrophic gag.
But not truly unbelievable, because it has happened before.
Oh,
I don't think they make the playoffs.
Really?
I don't think the Vikings make the playoffs.
I mean, seriously, think about it, though. I mean, do the math. You're 5-0. Merely go 500 the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, forget it. 500's asking too much. 500's asking too much. Go 5-7, right?
I don't
10-7 should probably get you in the playoff.
You would
so
think.
if you don't make it, that's a catastrophic gag, and there's no other way to say it.
Losing Darashaw does so much more to that
it's
team.
huge.
No one's talking about it.
It's huge. You're right.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold's not going to be able to sit back there all day and do what he wants. Like, Darashaw is a top 5 tackle in the NFL.
It's huge.
And losing him is... Whew.
I just don't look at the NFC right now as a whole and think there's a whole lot to be afraid of.
But what I look at is the Rams and the 49ers are getting healthier. The Rams are pretty much healthy. I think the Rams win that division, And I would give the 49ers a better chance to get a wild card spot than the Vikings.
I would give the Niners a better chance to make a run, too.
Yeah.
I really would. Come playoff time, I'd give the Niners a better chance to make the run.
I hope they don't. I hope the Vikings keep the 49ers out of the playoffs, but...
It'd be in our best interest.
Yeah, that's
well,
for sure.
They beat them head-to-head if it does come down to that later in the year.
They did,
so.
Yeah.
That is true.
And I know no one realizes this right now because when we last talked about this, we were laughing and joking and stuff like that. Philadelphia Eagles got it together.
So far.
And no one's noticed.
Yeah.
Their talent will get them to where they need to go, but the coaching is going to fail them.
Yeah.
I think that's the but I think that's the threat. When you're talking home field for the NFC,
They got all the talent in the world.
As I'm seeing this shaking out, the 49ers have already lost too much ground. Because if you're talking about being a 1 seed now and you're already 6-1,
Yes.
realistically, what are you going to be? 4 losses, right? 4 losses. Niners have 4 losses already, and they ain't running the table.
They're not.
So they're out.
Yeah.
Like Sean, for
They
real,
are not the same
They're
without
out.
C-Mac.
It is literally in my mind because the Commanders are good. I believe in where they are as a franchise.
Rookie quarterback.
They got a great quarterback.
But he's a rookie. Not scared of that.
No, I'm not scared now. Like you don't just show up and do that now. In the future, there'll be a problem, but today is not the future. This season is not the future. I believe that this is a 2-horse race. It is strictly the Lions and the Eagles, and that's how I perceive it to be right now.
I've felt that way about the Eagles for a couple of years, but I will say this, and it goes back to what you said, KG. There's a Nick Sirianni problem there.
Big facts.
There is. I mean, you don't fall apart the way they fell apart last year. You don't. I mean, that was... You guys, let's be honest. They look like by far and away the best team in the NFL. Okay,
They're 10-0.
They learned their hard way. What was it, 11-0?
10 or 11-0, yeah.
But right. So to me, and then to fall on their face the way they did, and it's not just it's who they lost to and how they lost.
Yeah.
There's a problem there. I don't know exactly what it is. I've heard some things, like everybody else has heard some things, but I think it's a Nick Sirianni problem. I do.
Yeah.
No, and yes, you are probably right. And in the moment of truth, that is what will play out.
Them,
yeah. That's what will play out. But still, at the same time, I believe that this is the 2 horses that can be the 1 seed in the NFC. The Niners have done too much damage to be a 1 seed.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not a factor, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't, quote unquote, be aware of them or anything like that. But it is over. Make no mistake, they are done as far as getting the 1 seed in the NFC.
And you know what? I think you brought up an interesting point, Neil, and I need to, I guess, bring it up and apply it to here. I feel the same way about the Commanders as everybody else. I watch the Commanders, and Jaden's unbelievable, right? I have more fear, call me crazy, of that team who's done it in recent past than I do the new up-and-comer. I do. I have more fear out of the Philadelphia Eagles because I've watched Jalen Hurts take that team to a Super Bowl. I watched Jalen Hurts come this close to winning a Super Bowl. I'm not saying it's linear because you guys know I can't stand the linear thinking and, well, if the Tigers did this and next year must be that. I think it's just bad logic. But been there and done that counts for something in the National Football League. And that's why, and a lot of you guys are pissed at me, I'm not going against the Kansas City Chiefs. I watch them week in and week out find different ways to win football games. And not always necessarily Patrick Mahomes. That's just a team that finds a way to win. I pray to God that I'm wrong, and it's the Lions that knock them off. But been there, done that counts for something, man. And that's why I fear the Eagles more than I do the new threat that is the Commanders.
No, and I'm with you, 100%. I'm with you. The Chiefs thing, like the Lions fans that are getting worked up about like the Chiefs and the Ravens, I don't understand.
Yeah.
You will not play them both.
Right.
There will only be one left.
Right.
You do not play, so I'm not concerned.
The Chiefs don't want to see us just being real.
Nobody wants to see us.
I'm just...
Oh, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
I mean, whether we want to admit it or not.
We're the boogeyman.
Right. I guarantee you there are people sitting there right now in Kansas City going, I don't know if I want any of that Lion smoke.
Yeah. I'd rather see the 49ers. I'd rather see this. We beat the Chiefs.
Right.
Last time we played them, like I know they're down a couple guys, but that still is in the back of Kansas City fans' minds. Like, they'd much rather see the 49ers than us in the Super Bowl.
And we a way better team than that.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you do want to see the Lions, you can watch them.
You can watch them at the watch party. Let the fans watch. Live at Hayes Social. make sure you come check it out. The 1,800 girls are going to be out there this week. It's going to be a load of fun. I took last week off, wanted to watch a game with my dad. I'll be back. We're here for the Green Bay game. Come out, Hayes Social. It's going to be a lot of fun. New Holland Brewing Company, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Soroki Crispy Chicken and Pizza, and 1,800 Tequila, all sponsors. It's so much fun every time. I love it. I've been doing some play-by-play. I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job, too. I feel like I'm doing good. So make sure you guys come out and join us at Hayes Social for the live watch party. It is a lot of fun. We're going to be out there, of course, for the Packers game this week.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Neil Rule here for Taller, the Dutch long drink. Produced by New Holland Brewing Company, a local Michigan company. What do they do with it? How is it made? Let me tell you. New Holland small batch gin, grapefruit puree. And what happens after that? Magic happens after that. It's placed in those cans that you see on the screen right now. It's my favorite drink ever. I smash these things, man. Sean Belizean smashes these things on the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. I think on Sunday we're going to have some again, and you should all weekend long. I went to a local Meijer store, picked it up. It was the last six-pack they had available. All the other stuff around it was full.
You have to know it's at Meijer. I will be making
Absolutely. It's at Meijer, Total Wine. All the you know the spots, all right? So pull on. If you haven't had, a lot of you have come on the chat thread here. You said, hey, I've had it. It is incredible. I may never go back to beer. I'm just telling you guys, it is that good. Taller from New Holland Brewing Company. Burn in the chat. We know Chiefs fans are scared of us. There was a call from KC after the watch party that said as much. Great, recognizes great. All right, Sean, I teased this to you.
All right.
The trade deadline stuff. I know there's a lot of chatter about Zadarius Smith and the Lions and things like that. I read that comment earlier about the trade because I keep seeing this more and more, especially with the JMO stuff. Is Jamison Williams and James Houston the new Terry Mills and Lindsey Hunter?
Jesus.
Do you remember that? You remember that when Pistons fans were like, Terry Mills and Lindsey Hunter for Shaq?
Can I tell you?
For Kobe.
You might remember many years ago I did a show called Ice Time, and we played a game called You Be the GM. So since you brought up the basketball reference, I'll bring up the hockey reference. Matthew Dandino and Chris Draper. Every single Red Wing trade had Matthew Dandino and Chris Draper for Jaromir Jagr.
Yeah.
It was amazing how that worked out. And I would give dial tone to everybody who called in and made those dumb deals. So, yes, I think we're slowly going into that territory, Neil. We're slowly going into that territory.
James Houston, Jamison Williams, and a second-round pick for Max Crosby.
Okay.
Somebody thumbed that into a chat thread. Like somebody said, okay, I'm going to put this in the chat thread. Somebody thought that.
Hey, not even Mark Davis would make that deal.
I'm so tired of
Not
people
even him.
overvaluing pick 30 and 31 and 32 in the draft, though, conversely. I am. We can't give up a first-round pick. See, our brains are still, as Lion fans, thinking pick 11, pick 12, pick 13. Pick 30, 31, 32, I'm sorry, I don't give a shit. I don't. I'm sorry. Especially when you have a general manager who has shown he can go beyond that and find incredible value. I have no problem giving up those picks and pushing all my chips in. It just don't overvalue the 31st or 32nd pick in the draft, man. What are you really losing out on?
Aaron to the Stone, Neil, real talk. Are the Lions and Brad really not going to sign an edge before the deadline? Well, there's no good free agents out there, so there's nobody to sign at the edge spot. Are they going to trade for one? Yes, they probably will trade for one. Are we just going to sit pat with who we've got, which I think we can all agree isn't good enough? I think that we've hashed out our battles on that. Whatever Brad Holmes decides, I'm cool with. If they do not make a move, I still expect them to win the Super Bowl. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'll look you in the eye, tell you that 100 times out of 100. That is where it's at. Halloween tonight, everybody.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Nickel Package Friday. We'll be getting into it. I got a great sports media one, by the way. Sean Belizian and I, we're going to talk about college football, all of it. You guys know what you do.
Love it.
I do. I love it as well. So for Sean Belizian, KG, Chase, Spencer Raxter, I'm Neil Rule. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Happy Halloween. Well, see you later.
Soroki time.